Now that has to be the most dangerous pot of chili oil I have ever seen. It's probably not a good idea to have hot pot during summer, but I'm having it with a bunch of skewers, so it should be fine. Right? On the previous Sichuan video, I briefly talked about having meat on skewers. Skewers here are a big thing in China, and when I say big thing, I mean like they're like hot stuff, super popular. These skewers kind of resemble the kebabs from the Middle East or the satays back home in Southeast Asia, but instead of grilling them, you cook them in a hot pot. So if you compare these chuans to satays and kebabs, the main differences are the volume of meat per skewer and the marinade. In terms of the marinade, these chuans have a dry rub, which is similar to the kebabs. And this is not surprising, given that this dish was originally introduced to China by the
Uyghur people. Uyghur.
And their culture and cuisines are very similar to Turkish and Middle East, which is where kebabs are from. Plus, on top of that, if you use a wet marinade, it will sort of ruin the base of the hot pot, so not a very good idea. And in terms of volume of meat per skewer, if you had a kebab before, you know it doesn't take much. Maybe 1 or 2 sticks and you'll be fine, you're full. Satays, a bit smaller, so maybe 10 to 20 sticks. But chuans, they're literally bite-sized. So I reckon you need at least 30 to 40 sticks for you to be satisfied. At this point of time, I'm sure you have a lot of questions in mind, like why serve them in such small portions, or why even serve them on sticks if you're gonna dump them in a hot pot to cook anyway? Well, trust me, I had the exact same questions as you when I first had chuans. But that's precisely the whole point of it. So today, we will be attempting the spiciest level of hot pot to pair up with these skewers. And by the way, I like to think that I'm pretty good with handling the heat, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. We'll see how it goes. Different countries have different social gathering ethics. In Singapore, we usually catch up after a meal, like at a pub or in a dessert cafe. While in Australia, it's over a cup of coffee or over a pint of beer. But in China, it's more of catching up with your friends during the meal itself. And the idea of eating, sharing, and spending time with your friends and family is a big thing in Chinese culture. Think about it, from the time it takes to set up the hot pot, to choosing your skewers, to waiting for it to cook, it's also that you can spend more time to chat with whoever you're having a meal with. Like imagine if you all got individual food. What's going to happen is that you're going to wait for each and every one of you to finish eating before starting an actual conversation because, well, it's rude to talk with food in your mouth. So the idea of having these bite-sized skewers is so that after you finish one of it, you can slip in 1 or 2 conversations before going for another skewer. Plus, since it comes in small portions, you can go for things that you never dared to try before, like organs, and not worry that you won't be able to finish a huge portion of it. And there are usually different kinds of base for the hot pot, and the base will determine the flavor and experience you get, not only during the meal, but also the morning after. We got the devilish lava spicy base. While waiting for these babies to cook, I like to have a heart-to-heart conversation with my wife. And if you're having it with friends, and you somehow get something that you don't like, don't be a prick. Just take it and eat it. It'll look very rude if you start choosing. And the proper way to eat these skewers is to remove them from the stick and dip it into your custom-made sauce. I don't really enjoy the taste of lamb because it's a bit too gamey for me, but in Beijing, lamb is a very popular meat, so I don't want to miss out on all those good food. So I take this as a training. Because of the marinade and the spices from the hot pot, I actually can't taste the gaminess, so take this as a win. I think this is lamb with radish, so... Very soft, very tender, but very spicy. Very crunchy because of the radish also. This is lamb with some veggie. So because it's come because you're charged on a stick, so because it's charged on a stick, definitely gonna feel it tomorrow morning. I like to think that I'm pretty good with handling the heat. Because it's charged per stick, it's important to keep track of the number of sticks you have eaten. And once you're done, you're supposed to throw the sticks into this tin so that they can count and charge you afterwards. And each stick costs about 80 cents, which is roughly 15 cents US dollars. You know what? After you can't feel your tongue anymore, don't stop there. Go ahead with round 2 and 3. Pick your skewers, dunk it in the devil's pot, eat and repeat. By the next day, you should be able to attempt a fecal painting. I like choosing the skewers myself because I can choose the flavour and the type of meat that I like by myself. Like that one there. Okay, I promise no more of this horse shit. Let's get back to eating. Well, that's it for now. It's game over for me. Thanks for sticking around. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And also let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. If you ever get to visit China, definitely give this a shot. And don't forget to subscribe and stay so thirsty.